85% of managers described themselves as paranoid that their remote workers weren't working. 85%. That's a really high level of mistrust in our society. It's ungood. But it's because that's what they were paying attention to before COVID. If, on the other hand, they had been more focused on output, what did you create and deliver, then they could have seen, well, that got submitted through Teams yesterday, or I heard that client call happened, or whatever else, right? We could actually see things happening. If managers were doing a better job of setting smart objectives and having tangible evidence of somebody's contribution, we would have been better. If we just reward and pay attention to activity, what we get is busyness. If we reward and pay attention to outputs, we get productivity. Better. Not good enough. Because productivity is not accountability. Outputs aren't accountability. Remember I said it's outcomes. If we pay attention to whether their activities and their outputs create the changes in the world we're looking for. Did mortgages go up this month? Yeah. Did our NPS rating from ultra high net worth, that's our NPS from UNHW, you people, you know your acronyms. Did our NPS from our UHNW people go up? These are outcomes. And when we pay attention to and reward outcomes, we don't get busyness, we don't get productivity, we get effectiveness. And when we don't pay attention to and define the outcomes we're looking for, how would we know? How would we know? This is one of my favorite things to do a workshop with leaders in an organization and help them define what are the outcomes. How does the world need to be different if your people are successful? Right? Not just what are you doing, what are you delivering, and certainly not how many hours did you spend at the office and how many emails did you send this week, right? 11 hours is the average number of hours a North American worker spends doing email a week. 11 hours. And until we start being clear about outcomes, we aren't going to be able to figure out which outputs can we just stop and which activities are useless and do we not need to do. The only way we get out of this absolute torrent of overwhelm and burnout is if we start figuring out, are we being effective and what can we stop doing because it's not helping?